Well, there they are, both 69 fenders, sanded inside and outside, ready for epoxy primer. I'm standing in my garage because it's windy as hell out there, and I think if I step out there, the microphone is probably gonna go crazy. But I'm gonna try it, and let's see what happens. 6 o'clock. I started on these at about 10 o'clock this morning, and one of them was knocked down on the outside already. One of them was already knocked down on the outside, and I finished the top and the inside, and I believe that was this one here. And kind of proud of myself on this one. There was a couple of pretty big dents up here on the top, right where the body line is. And I used my hammer and dolly and knocked them out. Even though it was brand new, these things always ship dented, and the guy I bought it from had moved it twice. So got those dents taken care of, and then I'm not going to yank these off the sawhorses and turn them inside out, but you can see where I've got them sanded all and scuffed and ready to shoot them on the inside and the outside. So I'm going to wash them down with soap and water, get all the grease and grime and sweat and everything else off of them, and get these ready to spray tonight. So I've been at it for 8 hours and got these guys ready to go. I'm going to spray them tonight, and they're going to go back on the El Camino. The hood is already done. It's sitting in the back. Well, it's done on the top anyway. And then that way I'll have 2 epoxy primered fenders and the epoxied hood, and the rest of this the stuff on that car, if it rusts, I don't care. But I can make room. I can park it outside, throw a cover on it, make room in my garage, and pull the old Monte Carlo in here and get started on that. I'm also trying to get the 71 fenders. I'm going to get them to the point to where I can get them in epoxy and just throw them on the car and have them ready to go. I'm not sure where in the line of priorities this one fits. I think this is probably going to be number 2, but in the meantime, like right now, I'll just keep these inside. I got some rust stuff I was telling you guys about I'm going to take care of and do some test stuff on with navel jelly and etch and sketch, or whatever the fuck it's called. I forget. Etch and prep and etch, or whatever I don't know. I'm brain dead. I'll tell you what, man. Sanding just absolutely sucks. I've been at it all day long. My brain is fried. Not because I'm doing anything, but it's because I'm not doing anything. I keep, all that I'm thinking, well, I could be, fixing the leak in that rear end, or I could be doing just something else besides sanding. So anyhow, I'll get this uploaded, and I don't know, I might have an update tagged to the end of this. We'll see. All right. Adios. Okay, I shot a couple of test patterns on my plastic there, and it seemed to be working okay, but then when I started shooting my fenders, it would shoot for about maybe 24-30 inches, and then it would sputter out. It was really weird because it was kind of a rhythmic pattern. It would I explain it later when I show the finished product, but kind of created a little bit of aggravation for me because when I went back, I probably should have waited and let that haze over before I tried to go back and cover those voids. You can see I keep messing with my gun. I was trying to find out why it was happening. If you watch the spray, you can see a little dash every once in a while, or a blank spot. But it was really frustrating. And by the time I got done, I went back over and tried to cover those blank spots. I hit it with a little too much spray, and caused some runs. So a few things. I'm going to make some adjustments to my air gun the next time I spray. I got a 1.4 tip, and I think my air pressure was too low. Somebody told me I should have been up around 40, and I was actually at about 30. Number one. Number two, I was moving too slow. I wanted to get one big heavy coat on this because I didn't think I had enough paint to do 2 light coats or 2 wet coats. So I wanted to get at least through one heavy coat on it, and I did okay. There's one little spot up at the top on the driver's side fender, and then you'll see on the driver's side fender later on, passenger side, you'll see on the passenger side fender there's a dent just above the marker light on the body line. I'll take care of that later on, but I just wanted to get these covered up after spending all that time getting down to bare metal.
Well, here they are, next day. Man, I hit some runs. I don't know if it's going to show up. I recorded myself shooting this. But what my gun was doing is it would lay down a decent pattern. I mean, you can see where the runs, I don't know if you can see or not, but it laid down a pretty good pattern. But where it would stop, like it would shh, and just like a little burp here every once in a while. And then wherever I had a dead spot, I went back and I tried to just like do one little cover, and that's when I ended up with these runs. Let's see. Got one here. I know this is just primer. This will sand out, but it bothers me about that gun. Another run right here, or sags, whatever you want to call them. Other than that, it laid down a pretty good, decent pattern. Not bad for primer. I got the insides done. It did not get on the top of the lip for the fender well. I'm gonna get some, I couldn't get my gun up in there, my sprayer. So I'm gonna get some decent quality spray can primer and hit those. I think they sell the epoxy primer in spray cans. I think I saw SEM had it. But got them primed on the inside and gonna spray it on the outside. I'm gonna throw them on the car, put the hood back on the car, get it into some semblance of a vehicle, and on to the next thing, which is those fenders out there, getting those ready for the 71. All right, hope everybody had a good weekend. I'm gonna be back later on tonight, probably do a couple of uploads, but got to do the raffle, so that's gonna be the next one. I just want to give you guys a shot of these. All right, check in with you later. Adios. One more thing, I'm gonna excuse me, I'm going to, before I put these on, I'm gonna seam seal this up here, because every fender that I've seen, and even those out there, good God, I'm gonna bust my ass, always rusts right here. Water gets in there or whatever, and I'm gonna put some seam sealer in there to try to keep that from happening. I'm probably not gonna be around. I'll probably be dead by the time this car ever gets to the point where it rusts again, but just in case. Seems like a good idea. All right.